what's your thought process now that, what, you're 24, 28 hours away from actually tipping this thing off?
I honestly can't wait. I'm super excited just to finally get out there being the real thing. Even though we played Akron, that didn't count. So it's always a little different when it actually does count. And it's been a long time since that loss at Syracuse, and it's time to take it out on some folks.
Well, after the Akron game, what has Hugs and the staff been working on with you guys since you played that game? Concentrating on?
Transition defense. They feel like we weren't really getting back very well in transition, finding the man. They were getting a lot of open shots in transition. And also boxing out and rebounding.
Just say that rebounding number, was that surprising to you a little bit?
Yeah, I really didn't feel like they were out rebounding us until they actually told us that they did, and I was like, but we've been doing a lot of box out drills, 2-on-2, 5-on-5, and just kind of letting guys learn the technique of actually boxing out, and it's helped a lot.
So transition defense and rebounding are the two big things they've been harping on.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Jalen, you mentioned the Syracuse game, and a couple other guys in the weeks prior have also, I think Gabe kind of talked about it too. How much of that loss was like a motivating factor for you guys in the off season coming into this year? Was it ever discussed, or is it just something maybe didn't play a part at all?
It always kind of comes up because we were one win away from being in the 16, two away from being in the Elite Eight, so it stings a little bit still. I feel like we could have made a way deeper run, and we kind of just fell short, came out flat last year. And it's kind of been a point of emphasis to kind of play with a sense of urgency, so teams don't jump on us like Syracuse did, and we have to claw our way back.
That feeling then, so like, is it in your mind, like, when you're lifting weights or when you're in a team workout or what? I mean, is that the way you guys felt that day? Does that kind of stay with you, throughout the month?
For me personally, a little bit, because that was my first NCAA tournament. Like I wanted to try to go all the way as far as we could, and getting there and only winning one game, that's kind of a letdown personally. And I just feel like we could have did so much better. So it's always gonna kind of sit in my mind a little bit.
Jalen, in your mind, what's it going to take to get back to the NCAA tournament with this team this year?
I think that if we guard how we should guard, if we rebound the ball, and if we can make open shots, I feel like the sky's the limit, because if once guys buy in completely, this is going to be a scary team to play in March.
You guys obviously are a very good perimeter shooting team, at least that's the look of it. But you have to be careful not to fall in love too much with it.
Yeah, I would say sometimes we kind of settle for like our first open three, and even if there's a driving lane available, throw it down to the big inside. I feel like if we can kind of find somewhat of a balance to that, to where we're playing inside and out instead of just praying that the threes go down, I feel like we'll be a lot more successful.
What's your NCAA inside game like? I mean, obviously without Derek, that's a big loss there. What are the new guys bringing?
Isaiah brings a lot of versatility. He can either face up down there, score with his back to the basket. Gabe's improved tremendously offensively. He's finishing at the rim better than ever. Paulie's just a physical, dominant force down there. And Damon's just athletic, like I've never seen before in my life. And then Cindy's also been practicing really well. So we have a lot of different weapons that we can kind of utilize. And even Taz and Sean might get down there. I might get down there if we have a smaller guy on us.
For yourself, you may have to play 4 this year. I mean, I did mainly a 3 last year, so big difference, is it? What's it like for you to do that?
I would say defensively last year I was playing the 4 a lot, but whenever we went to our sets, I was 3 on offense. But it's honestly to my advantage, other than defensively. If I get backed in the post, there's really not much I can do other than try to get a hand on the shot. But offensively, it's a mismatch. It's going to be a slower man on me, so I'm going to have to make the most of that opportunity, create for myself and my teammates.
How has Kedrian been? I mean, obviously he got nicked up there in that exhibition game. How's he been since then?
Oh, he's back. He's back to 100%. His stitches kind of healed up, but he's just a defensive pest. Like, I've never seen anything like it.
Jalen, what did you learn from the NCAA tournament experience last year, and about playing postseason and about yourself? I mean, that's something you don't experience till you get there.
I would say that all the little things really, really matter, especially on a stage like that. Everyone's playing like it's their last go-around, it's their last game. So if you're not bringing that 100% intensity every single play, then your team's not going to end up being very successful.
I kind of wonder the feeling going into this year as opposed to last year. There was so much unknowns last year in terms of, you know, the pandemic and, you know, games getting added onto the schedule at the last minute and, you know, testing every, you know, you didn't know if you were going to play 1 week or the next. A year later, does it just kind of feel like basketball, normal life? I mean, kind of, you know, I'm sure it's a lot different than last year.
Yeah, it's a lot different. Just seeing the fans packed in the Coliseum, like last year we barely, I'm not sure if we got over 25% capacity, and now we're back to 100. Sometimes on the road it was like COVID didn't exist or something. It was they had packed facilities, but I'd say it's kind of back to normal, like what I'm used to. Like my redshirt year, just every game it was like the crowd was electric, home or away. So I'm excited to play in front of big crowds.
Jalen, the positives and maybe negatives for you, you know, growing up a half hour away, your parents, grandparents, friends all can come see you play. Not a lot of your teammates always can do that. Is that always a positive, or is it sometimes a negative that you're so close and there are distractions maybe others don't have?
I would say I don't think it's a distraction. It's just like sometimes it gets a little hectic having to see everybody and just have a whole bunch of conversations. But other than that, there's nothing more that I could ask for. Like, this is where I'm from, this is where my family's from, my friends, so they can all take a 25-minute drive and come see me play, just come hang out, whatever. So that just means the world to me, honestly.
The first Mountaineer game you saw, do you remember how old you were?
I think I came to, did they ever play Rutgers?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember one game. It was when Chuck was still on the team.
Okay.
So it was around that time. I think they beat Rutgers at the Colley, something like that.
Has that been a Rashad Kent, Fairmont guy?
Yeah.
Do you remember him?
Yeah.
So make us feel how old were you at that point? That would have been 12, 13?
2009, I was born in 2001.
Wow.
8, 9.
Okay, you make us feel old.
So obviously what didn't leave a huge impression on you.
Nah.
Truck has a way of doing it.
He's a great dude.
At least you remember Truck.
Maybe they're all still around.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks, man.
No problem. Thank you guys.